Hey guys, and how's it going? This is Shane, and you are joining me on the first video of the Gaming with Shane YouTube channel. What is this channel going to be about? It's going to be about gaming, whether it be computer, console, tabletop, cards, you name it. It's all fair game. So, first video today is, as you can tell, World of Warships. I have been playing this since closed beta. I was able to get an invite thanks to a pretty funny guy, a fellow YouTuber whose name will remain nameless. But here we are. I'm not a professional gamer. I don't really stress too much about optimizing my performance. I just like to have fun. And this ship and the replay that I've got are going to reflect that. So what do we have here? We have a Tier 5 premium British battleship called HMS Agincourt. A little brief history on this ship. It was originally kind of passed around like pre and mid-war, and it was supposed to end up going, I believe, to either the Austro-Hungarian Empire or Turkey specifically, and the Brits just said, no, we don't want to give it to you. So they didn't. What makes this ship unique is a couple of things. For one, it has no anti-aircraft armament whatsoever, as you can tell over here on the side menu. Armor layout, survivability, artillery, airstrikes, maneuverability concealed, no anti-aircraft, none, period. Don't even think about it. The saving grace on that is that unless you're in a tier 6 or 7 game, the aircraft carriers tend to not be fantastic even when the players are good, because the early torpedoes and stuff were not very hard hitting. So that's not as big of a deal. What is kind of a big deal is it's fairly lightly armored for a battleship. It is pretty easy to citadel. As you can see, we're well above the waterline here, so you have to be careful with what you're pointing at, and more specifically what you're not pointed at. You don't want to be giving any fat juicy broadsides to any battleships for sure, and maybe not showing too much to any heavy cruisers. Although, like I said, unless you're running into a tier 7 game, which can happen, then it shouldn't be as big of a concern for cruisers. One of this ship's party pieces, and what I love most about it, is its secondary armament. You see we've got 10 single 76mm mounts and 20 single 152s with a range of 8.3 kilometers. I've got that boosted with commander skills, which I will show here in a minute, plus some module changes. Those of you who played World of Warships back in the early to middle days, up until, I don't know, about 3 or 4 years ago, remember how good German secondaries could be. So good that if you were a destroyer and you found a Bismarck or a Tirpitz, you purposefully did not want to be in secondary range of that guy, because he'd tear you apart without even looking at you. You guys also know that that's not the case. Well, that is the case here to some extent with HMS Agincourt. So let me go over my commander here real quick. This is just Bert Dunkirk. I run kind of a non-standard build sometimes. You see we've got an increased fire chance because British HE is pretty good. Turret traverse, because the turret traverse on older battleships is horrid. I've got brisk here, and I've got brisk because the maneuverability of this thing is pretty bad. It starts out at a max speed of 22 knots. So unless you have brisk or you're running a speed flag, you're hanging out with the American dreadnoughts, which fundamentally isn't bad, but if we want to improve this a little bit so we can get into close range. I also take priority target. Reason being is I find that it helps me be situationally aware. If you spot a destroyer or you know one's in the neighborhood, if you see priority target light up and then go away, chances are he's launched torpedoes at you, and you probably should think about either slowing down or making a course correction. So that's just been a staple of my commander build since pretty much the beginning. Here's our secondary stuff. We're extending the range of our secondaries here with long-range secondaries. And manual target secondaries, we're going to decrease the dispersion and the reload time. This is very important. Adrenaline rush, just because it'll make the secondaries fire even quicker, and the main battery reload is not very good. As you guys see here, reload time is 36 seconds, and that kind of sucks. But the good news is it's got a lot of guns. They're medium-ish caliber. They're 305s. This thing is a cruiser killer. You don't want to be caught with your pants down in a light cruiser or even a heavy cruiser in front of this thing, because it'll spank you. Equipment. This is a premium, so it comes already upgraded. We're going to take auxiliary modification to increase our survivability of our secondary mounts. We're going to get damage control mod 1, as we do, and then we've got a secondary battery modification one, which extends our secondary range and decreases our dispersion. Again, that's pretty cool for a tier 5 ship. Usually you don't get this until you get higher up. So, HMS Agincourt should be pretty good. Let's get into a game here and see what she's like. Alright guys, looks like we're on the straight map here. Pure tier 5 battle. Plenty of cruisers. Look like we've got an Agincourt on the enemy team, a couple of Texases. Now, spoiler alert, this is not playing live. I recorded this, a couple of weeks back, and it's the best match that I've had so far in Agincourt. Alright, so as you can see, we spawn north on the straight. Looks like this is domination. We have 3 capture points. My in-game name here is Chumps Taking Dumps. As you can see, we're going to start out heading towards B cap. Reason being is the gun range is not very good on this ship when compared to its tier 5 contemporaries, especially the Japanese line. And I want to kind of get on a flank if I can and start to close the distance before I'm spotted. So that's what we're doing here. You can see we've got a Texas popping up already. And it's going to be a moment or two before we really get involved here. As you can see, we're heading almost directly south. Again, that's trying to not get spotted. As you can see, the destroyers on the enemy side have popped up. The Podvoisky and the Mutsuki. Luckily, Podvoisky smokes up before we get spotted, and so does his buddy. Emilia Bertin. Ouch. That's not off to a good start. But he should have expected that. Those guys are going to be a problem up north for a while. Okay, so we're starting to get in main battery range of a couple of the enemy here, Texas. I'm holding my fire here. Again, I'm trying to stay dark for as long as I can because I'd like to get in between the 2 northernmost islands right here. The big landmass and the island just off its north. You can see the Podvoisky show up again. He gets taken out by the Königsberg. Good job. Took him out with torpedoes. There's the Mutsuki. Okay. Now we're detected. So we're going to start opening up here. Had AP loaded because I thought we were going to hopefully get a good shot at a cruiser. Not too bad, 6K. The guns on this ship are not very accurate, but being able to put 14 shells in the air at any one time it helps a little bit. Don't mind us, enemy team. We're just going to try to sneak around here to the flank. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. No, looks like their Agincourt took out one of our destroyers, the Nicholas, down south. He's doing better than we are so far. Okay, so now we're in range. Pop out here. This Texas here seemed to be a little bit more broadside than his friend, so we elevated the barrels a little bit to take a shot at him. 4,200. Someone else got a big shot, but watch our secondaries go. Start to work these guys over. I had him targeted on the other guy because we knew that his friend wasn't going to last very long. Ooh. Luckily he overpens there and we don't take a ton of damage. He got a good chunk on us there with 5.5K. This is not the best place for us to be, broadside to American 14-inch armor piercing, so we angle in a little bit. Get a good hit on him. Always checking on the minimap to see what's going on. As you can see, we're not doing very bad, but we're not doing very good. There's Königsberg on the other side of the map down there just set us on fire. We're not going to put it out yet. Going to pop a repair party because all fire damage is repairable. A friend in the Chungking here is going to give us a high five. We both have shots out on the Texas. We managed to get the kill. And his parting salvo misses. Alright, so we've got Mr. Königsberg up here to the north. Enemy destroyer. Well, there's our friend in the Mutsuki. He's coming straight at us, as you can tell from the minimap, so he wants to get personal. There's Nagano, just peeked into his detection range. Here go our secondaries on the Mutsuki. We had a shot out on him. We did hit him with the secondary and managed to reset his cap attempt. Well, managed to get a little too close to get himself spotted. Get a couple more shots, let our secondaries work him over. You do not want to keep sailing in the same direction when you're that close to a destroyer. Looks like the Agano sent one on his way to the smoke screen. We get a healthy citadel and take him out. Turn our guns towards the Königsberg up north. Congo's checking out our booty. We're going straight in towards this smoke screen because what we're going to do is we're going to make a hard right here and change direction. If you can see, our friendly destroyer is getting close to his smoke screen as well, so he should be popping up here any second. Oh, look. There he was, so he knows where we know where he's going. As you can tell, he launched at us. That's why you never fire the same, or never keep the same course. Shots out. Took care of him. It's our third kill. Not doing too bad so far. 35k damage. That's decent, but not great. We've kind of had to do a lot of maneuvering so far, so keeping the guns on target is difficult, but that's why we take the grease the gears skill. Shuts out on the Königsberg here. We're going to take a left turn and try to head back down south where all the action is. Our friends are going to get the kill over there. Taken out by the Nicholas. Looks like you managed to set him on fire. Good job. The teams were pretty evenly matched on this one. This one was fun. It came right down to the wire. Piotr Veliki backing out. Guess he doesn't want to get close to the Congo. We'll send a few his way. 2 hits, 2k damage. Not great. That's something you'll just have to get used to with these guns. We are targeted. Their destroyer's way down there, so it's probably our friend in the cruiser. Yep, there he is. He popped up for just a second as he took a shot at us. That's our friend in the enemy Königsberg over there, lobbing shells from behind an island, like cruisers like to do. It's kind of the meta. I think it's kind of cowardly. It is what it is. It's the best way to do the most damage in a cruiser, more times than not. So, gameplay-wise, he's not wrong for doing it, but we need to do something about it. He overshoots. I think that last shot was probably blind. We're going to go perpendicular to the channel here. We're going to swing our guns over. Kind of wait for him to pop out, because he's going to have to, because no one's spotting for him right now. Oh, hello there. Hold this for me, bro. Thankfully he had armor piercing loaded, so he didn't manage to set us on fire again. That was kind of a misplay on his part. He should have been firing high explosive the whole time. So we're going to turn back in. We've got a cap advantage here, and we're ahead on points by about 300. Battleship, a cruiser, and a destroyer against 2 battleships. In theory, that should be pretty good. Our Nicholas here, he's concealed in smoke. Although last I saw, the Piotr Veliki was pretty close, so he needs to get out of there. We're heading in to assist. There's the Piotr Veliki. Looks like he managed to get within assured detection range of our Nicholas there. Nicholas does what I think was a bad move and leaves the smoke. Lets the Agincourt secondaries take him out, because that's what Agincourt secondaries do. We're going to wait a second, because we see the Agincourt pop up. He knew I was there. You can see by the colored tracers he's running Andrew Cunningham as his captain. At least I think Andrew Cunningham is the special British commander. We are not running him. We're going to turn out, try to get our secondaries to do the work here. We're not going to put out a one-fire fire, because if there's one thing Agincourt secondaries like to do, they like to set fires. Looks like Piotr Veliki took our friend out, so we are alone. We're going to turn out a little bit more. after we take our shots on the Piotr Veliki, because we don't want to be broadside of those guns. Managed to do pretty good damage on him. We're going to have to try to thread the needle here because we know the Agincourt is going to come this way, and we don't want to take a broadside in shot from anybody. Angle a little bit against the Veliki. Our guns are about to come off cooldown, so since he's fired, we're going to soften our angle against him a little bit. See if we can get on target. Put shots in the air. We're going to wait for him to complete this turn, though, if he's going to. Looks like he's going to stop, so we'll just let him have it all. He's pretty close to dying. Got him on fire. Alright, got him with fire. There's our Kraken. So now we just have to worry about an Agincourt, which even in another Agincourt is no sure victory. We're starting out with a few more K health than he is, but he is running that special commander and we're not. If he has a special commander, he's probably got more points on him than ours do too, so again, we're going to try to keep the angle soft. See, he's kind of broadside, so we still have the AP loaded. One thing to note is that we need to keep secondaries on target, so we can't go too far out as far as the angles go, because we need to keep pouring damage on him. Alright, this isn't going to amount to a whole much, because we still have the AP loaded. We're going to finish that off. He's getting good damage in on us, look at that. We're going to soften the angle back up again. We're going to give it a little bit of right rudder, because we want to be able to hit him again when our guns come off cooldown. He's bowing in. Smart. And we finish him off with the fire and get the arsonist. So we finished that one off with 121,000 points of damage, not too bad. 70 main battery hits, 141 secondary hits. We got an arsonist, we got the dreadnought because we used all of the healing. We got the Kraken, and we got high caliber. Not bad. Looks like we managed to get the Kraken +1. Very good ship. Like I said, I love this thing. Let's see, because I know I've got other... Okay, yep. Wow. Our enemy Agincourt here, he managed to get a Kraken of his own, so good job on him. Königsberg really did heavy lifting. I gave him a plays well, and I gave our friend in the Agincourt over here a plays well, or a worthy adversary achievement, or compliment. He did the same for me. I actually tracked him down in chat after this, and we talked a little bit and joked about how fun the Agincourt is to play. And yeah, he definitely loves it as much as I do. Our details here, looks like we did about 65k in armor piercing damage. Did another 20k with our secondary battery, excuse me, and another 35k off of setting fires. And all of those fires were being started off of our secondary battery. So, a pretty brutal ship. I love HMS Agincourt. I recommend you pick one up if you feel like spending 20 or so US dollars on a premium. It's very fun. You guys saw the secondaries. The proof is there. It's like the old German days. So, tell me what you think about HMS Agincourt if you've got one. and let me know what you think of the video. I apologize for my poor narration skills. I'm hoping to improve on that as things go on. I hope you guys like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, this channel is brand new, so we need all the help we can get. And I will see you on the next one. So until then, stay safe, be good to yourself and each other.